The law is on Harvard's side, but having good legal arguments doesn't absolve you of having to go to court, convince a judge of those arguments, go all the way to the Supreme Court and win on those arguments, and then have Donald Trump actually listen to the courts. Since Harvard has to go to court, let me lay out for you the three main legal arguments that the university is going to have to make. First, Harvard is going to say in court that Trump cannot rely on civil rights law called Title VI to cut off funding to the university, which is what the Trump administration has been saying officially that it's doing. The reason that the Trump administration can't rely on that law is that the law says that the only way the government can cut your funding is if it first goes to an independent decision maker like a judge and proves that the university in question has actually violated people's civil rights. The Trump administration hasn't done that. They've skipped the basic step that the law requires. So a court would be very likely to conclude, almost certainly, that the Trump administration can't skip that step. So what I expect is that the Trump administration will pretend that it's not going after Harvard because of civil rights grounds, but instead will offer some kind of a vague, general justification for the cut. Something like Harvard University is doing a bad job. Now, the university can fight back against that under a law called the Administrative Procedure Act, because that law says that when the government does something to you, it has to have a good reason. It can't be what the law calls arbitrary or capricious. In other words, not based on reasons at all. And the I don't like you very much reason is not a sufficient reason as a matter of law. Probably the most interesting and resonant and morally powerful argument the university can make, which it's going to make for sure, it's already signaled that, is that Trump's plan to freeze Harvard's funding violates Harvard's First Amendment rights. The Trump administration is demanding that Harvard have an outside auditor review its faculty and its admissions decisions for what the administration calls viewpoint diversity. That sure sounds like it means that the president wants Harvard to hire people who have conservative viewpoints. Now, it's up to Harvard to decide who it wants to hire, and that's a matter of Harvard's free speech. Because if the government can pick and choose among different points of view, then we don't have free speech. So as much as you may dislike Harvard University, and feel free, you still should be committed to the idea of free speech, which is necessary in universities for us to do our job, which is to pursue the truth.